Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, hi and happy Friday to everyone. I hope you're all doing well. This is the first video that I am filming since my stomach bug. So I just included a little blip in the description. It was in the description bar of my video on Monday. Because my video went up late that day because I got hit with the stomach bug on Sunday. So it's going to be a little mini story time here, which is fine because our expense tracking is going to be minimal this week. So this is what happened. So on Saturday night, I had ice cream. And for those of you who may be new to my channel or who have never heard me mention it before, I have a variety of autoimmune issues that I am able to keep at bay by having a very strict, essentially carnivore diet. I do eat fruit, which is not meat, but I eat meat, predominantly red meat, actually, which I know is against all of the conventional medical knowledge that you've heard, but that's baloney. I'm just going to tell you, you heard it here first. That's baloney. I eat exclusively red meat. I do have cheese. I will have avocados every now and then. And then I have many different fruits. I don't have all of the fruit. I steer clear of apples, bananas, citrus fruits, unless I'm squeezing lime or lemon in my drinks. And I'm trying to think. Grapes, I don't really have those, but the fruits that I really, really love are the ones that I'll eat. So I'll have pears in the fall. I don't really eat a lot of fruit in the winter. And then in the spring, I have all of the berries, and summer, I have all of the stone fruits. So cherries, peaches, nectarines, apricots, those. I love all of those fruits. Watermelon, I live on watermelon. But for the most part, my diet is mostly meat. And that is, that has been the way that I have kept all of my autoimmune symptoms at bay since 2018. And I'm still alive. So don't let anybody tell you that that diet is not healthy or it's not going to help you, first of all, because it will. I am living, walking, breathing proof that a very clean and strict diet can really help a lot of your autoimmune symptoms. Most of mine are arthritis related, but I do have some skin issues. A lot of you have noticed my vitiligo. But my arthritis is the one I'm really, really trying to keep at bay. And then just in general, my inflammatory load on my body is kept away by eating this way. So I'm saying that to you because every now and then, because I'm a human, I go off the rails. And on Saturday, I chose to have ice cream. And then on Sunday, I woke up with what I thought were just the negative effects of eating ice cream, because I do suffer consequences almost instantly, no matter what I choose to eat that's off of the acceptable list of things that I consume on a regular basis. So I started the day just thinking oh man, this is just not going to be a good morning, because I was feeling just discomfort in my stomach. So I went to work that day, and the whole day I was I don't know that this is a food reaction. For those of you who may be wondering, I typically actually when I cheat on I hate saying that, because every decision that you make is something that you have to own. I don't do like this whole cheat day thing. That's just foolishness as far as I'm concerned, because this is literally my well-being here. So yeah, sure, it was a cheat day, but I don't allow them on a regular basis or anything like that, because for the most part, my reaction to foods is not in my stomach. It's in my joints and my spine. They get incredibly inflamed. My body starts attacking them and they get swollen, and that's a degenerative sort of thing. And I would like to still have my knees in 10 years. And so that's why I don't allow myself a cheat day as often as I think like some nutritionists and health experts would recommend that you do for like, just being a human. I just choose not to do that because, again, it impacts my joints almost immediately. So, and I also would still like to have my spine in 10 years. So I try not to do this, but it happens every so often. And with things like ice cream, things that are like hyper sugary, it does impact it feels like a stomach bug. So that's why I thought it was a stomach bug. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like preachy. This is just, I've dealt with these health issues my entire life. I'm 38. And when you have seen all of the medical professionals and you've done it their way for years and years, and you've gotten worse and worse, and then you switch your diet and immediately have relief from these things that doctors are like, no, this doesn't ever go away, you're kind of like, oh, you're all full of baloney. Anyway, I will stop ranting about this and just continue telling you about my stomach bug. But yeah, so as Sunday went on, it became increasingly more apparent that this was not a food reaction and this was a stomach bug, because I started getting the chills and just feeling really uncomfortable. But I was responsible for closing the museum that day, and the other staff that was with me doesn't have the authority or the ability to do that. And so I had to stick it out through the end of my shift. And then literally from Sunday after work through, what was yesterday? So I'm filming this on Thursday. So Sunday after work through Tuesday, I was in bed. I was just knocked out all of those days and really not feeling well. So I got behind on a couple of orders, which was so crummy. I hate when something that's impacting me then impacts everybody else. And if you're a mom or a parent in general, you know that that's going to happen. And that, like, in my house, like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just chaos. Like, I mean, my husband, took care of the kids and everything like that. But there are just some things that, at least in my house, I'm just better at doing, and homemaking is one of them. And so, just catching up from being behind on all of that, it's been a week. It's been a week. And I have to go back to work tomorrow. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, I need 3 more days off to recover from this, but it's fine. We are moving along, but that is how my weekend went. And so that's why my video was up late on Monday, because trying to like focus on editing and getting it all situated took a significantly longer period of time, because I could only focus on it in short spurts. And then I just had to like walk away. Well, not really walk away. It was like put my phone away, because my eyes and my brain just couldn't handle what I was asking of them. So that's why my video was up late on Monday. I do thank you guys for your understanding for things like that. I do always try to be consistent. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but when I upload on Mondays and Fridays, it's usually up at noon Central Standard Time in the US, every time. If there is ever a deviation from that plan, there's usually a reason, but this was a doozy. Like, this was just, oh my gosh, this was the worst stomach bug I've ever had. I've never had one that's lasted more than 24 hours. And I've just never felt that weak in the aftermath also. Like, I still feel pretty weak. I will say this though, if you get the stomach bug in the summertime, that is the best time to get it. I'm a huge proponent of go outside and lay in the sun. You're not going to feel like it. Trust me when I tell you, you're not going to feel like it. You're going to have to force yourself, pick yourself up out of your bed, walk outside, and just, you're kind of laying fetal out in the grass. I mean, I laid a towel down, but I was not comfortable, but you're sweating all of that out. It's so good for you to do that. And the boost in vitamin D in your body also really helps. I did it last year when I got COVID. I got COVID for the first time ever, actually last August. And thank God that I got it in August, because I have autoimmune issues. And so there was a concern about how my body would handle it, because my body doesn't really know how to fight stuff. Because when I do get an illness, my body is like, oh, there's something wrong with our body. Let's attack our joints. And so that's just what my body goes to. It doesn't actually attack the virus. It attacks my own body. So COVID was a concern for me. And so I just went outside and laid in the sun. And that boost of vitamin D, sweating it all out, really helped my body kind of readjust itself and figure out how to fight the virus itself. And so that's what I did with this stomach bug as well. Highly recommend for any kind of virus, flu, stomach, any of that. Lay in the sunshine, 20 to 30 minutes. I promise you it helps. Anyway, so now that we've had, thank you for coming to my TED Talk with Veda. Let's go ahead and get into this week's weekly check-in. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm so sorry that you just had to suffer through that rant. And who wants to hear about a stomach bug? I hope that none of you get it. I mean, I know that, you're not going to get it through a screen, but you just never know. Okay. These bugs, they just jump all over the place. So my weekly check-in is a video in which we track our non-cash purchases from the past week. So because we cash stuff our envelopes here, we have to pay the bank back in the event that we make a debit card purchase from one of these categories. And so I do this weekly check-in every single week. I track these non-cash expenses every single week and pay the bank back every single week to make sure that we are staying on top of our finances so that we don't overdraw our account, we don't overspend, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really good accountability tool for your budget. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in on this tracker here, and then we will get started. All right, so now is as good of a time as any to tell you first that these expense trackers are available in my shop. They are available just like this. Like, you don't have to purchase the whole budget binder or budget planner sheet bundle in order to access this expense tracker. I've also been asked about my cash breakdown sheet, and I do need to make that a singular document as well for you guys. I just was thinking about it because we were talking about a single item here, the expense tracker. Secondly, yes, my nails are an absolute wreck, but that's because when you have a stomach bug, the very last thing on your mind is giving yourself a manicure. So we're just going to deal with it. And then in my next video, hopefully, my nails will be done for you guys. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is actually going to be a really kind of short-ish check-in because we didn't have a ton of expenses and there's nothing particularly complex about the spending this week. So we will just get stuck right in. So it is a debit purchase that happened on the 6th of July, and it was at Starbucks. It was a very Starbucks heavy month, I'm noticing, but sometimes when you're out a lot or you're doing lots of like family and holiday related things, it's just easier to like pop in and grab yourself a coffee there than, make yourself one at home. So that's kind of what happened here. And so I have the Starbucks app where you just reload the card there. And so that's what we did with this. So it was just $10. And that one is going to need to be paid back to the bank. Next up, by the way, I've mentioned this before, but when you see a lot of the same date, it doesn't mean that that's when the expense happened. It just means that that's when it hit our bank account. And so you'll see the same dates like repeated a bunch, but it's just that's not how it works. It's like spread out over the course of time. It's just, that's when it hits our bank account. So, and we don't repay the bank until it hits our bank account. So even if an expense, we know this expense happened, days prior or whatever, we don't pay the bank back until it hits our account, just because that's the most solid way of knowing that the money actually came out, if that makes sense. So anyways, so this one was at Brahms. I don't think you guys have ever seen us buy anything from Brahms, but we usually do Chick-fil-A when we eat out, when our kids eat out. We don't ever eat out, but my daughter loves a good Brahms burger, so we gave her choice this time. And so that's what this expense was. And so it was, it's also coming from Dine Out. And it was in $19.90, and it needs to be paid back to the bank. And next up was on the 7th, and it was an Amazon purchase. And this one is actually coming from my business finder in my YouTube envelope. And it was $11.90, and it needs to be paid back to the bank. There we go. Okay, I lost my place on my cheat sheet over here on the side. Next up was Poshmark. You're going to see a couple of these today. This is going to come from my personal spending. I got myself, I'm a big fan of, if you can buy secondhand and the quality is still good and there's not a lot of wear on a product, and you can find exactly what you're looking for, I would much rather do this than buying something brand new full price. I've always been this way, even though I'm a spendy person. Like, I am definitely the spender in our marriage. It's why we have the amount of debt that we have. If you've not seen my debt confession, I will go ahead and link that for you. But this was a situation where I was looking for a bathing suit cover up, and I really like Vitamin A Swim, but I think their linen like beach shirts are like $120, and I am just not about to spend that kind of money on a beach cover up. I mean, I know they're really good quality products and everything, and that's why I went and looked for, a used version of it and found one. And so this one, oh my gosh, I lost my place again. Oh, here we go. It's $35.93. And see, isn't that so much nicer than spending $120? And I'm going to wash it, and it's going to be new to me and serve the exact same purpose as the $120 one. So there we go. And it's a really pretty blue color. And I don't wear color. I literally, like right now, I'm literally in black and white. I have black sweatpants on and a white, like bra top. It's not like a bra top. It's like a cropped like racerback tank, but it's like called a bra top. Anyway, I'm completely digressing here, but every now and then, if something is like blue but not quite blue, like a slatey gray blue, then I will I will go ahead and go with a color like that and add that into my wardrobe. I really, guys, when I tell you I don't wear color, like I literally never wear color. So this is like, you know, outside of my comfort zone, but also it's a beach cover up or a bathing suit cover up. So, you know, one can be colorful in that realm. Next up was Target. I know that it has been a while since we have seen a Target purchase, and hold on to your hats, because for the first time, I think ever in one of my weekly check-ins, this does not break down into multiple categories. It's just our Target category. And it was $75.17. And actually that one doesn't even need to be paid back to the bank, because this category in our budget just always stays in our checking account because we use the Target Red debit card. So that we get 5% off of every purchase. And because the money is always coming from our from that debit card, goodness gracious, my brain is still acclimating to normal also. So please forgive me if I'm like losing my train of thought a lot. So because we use the Target debit card for our groceries that we purchase from Target, we just keep that money in the bank. I never cash pool for that. So that one doesn't need to be paid back to the bank. But we do track the expense because this is accountability. So anyways, next up was on the 10th. And it was an Amazon purchase. You're going to see probably a lot more Amazon now that I have my business binder set up, because it's where I purchase a lot of the materials and things for my shop. So, and that's what this was. This is going to come from the materials envelope. I needed more vellum, and it was $41.79, and it needs to be paid back to the bank. And next up was another Poshmark purchase, but this one is going to be, of course, a conversation because, not Poshmark. I'm doing great. This was because, why? I mean, it's coming from hers. So here's where the conversation starts. So the total purchase is $93.06. This was because I bought myself 2 pairs of jeans because I have lost a little bit of weight. I lost weight from my stomach bug. I lost conservatively 3 pounds from Sunday to Tuesday, which was absolutely insane. That is not normal. Do not advocate for that. Do not recommend using a stomach bug to lose weight. Not fun. But just in general, over the course of time, just eating the way that I eat and exercising and taking care of myself and all of those kinds of things, I've just kind of lost a little bit of weight. And so I wanted to buy the smaller size of the same jeans that I already have and love in my closet, because why change a good thing? Am I right? And so because of Poshmark, I was able to find, I'm a big fan of Madewell jeans. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before on the channel, but I am essentially shaped like a rectangle. I don't have a lot of shape. I'm not like a curvy, hippie, booty kind of lady. I am more like a rectangle. It's so unflattering. It's an unflattering way of describing myself. I'm not putting myself down or anything like that. I'm quite comfortable in my skin. I like my body. I've worked hard for it, and I'm not like putting myself down. I'm just acknowledging the reality of the fact that I don't really have shape. And so Madewell jeans, and I'm not saying that, if you do have shape, Madewell jeans are not for you. They have a variety of different lines and things, but I've found like a sect, is that the right word? I found a type of jean within their line of jeans that work really well on my body and are very flattering on my shape or lack thereof. And so I like, if I can find duplicates of those rather than buying a new pair, because their jeans are pricey, they're worth it. They're really good quality, very well made, durable, all of that. But again, if you can find something secondhand that is not worn out, like, absolutely go for it. And so I found 2 pairs of jeans. And so that's where this 9306 is from, which I think is a great price for 2, good quality pairs of jeans. Anyway, but I also sold something on Poshmark. And so I'm going to be subtracting 2103 from this, because this is the amount that I got in for what I sold. And so I'm actually only going to need to pull 72 from this purchase, from my own envelope. So I hope that was not confusing to you. Because rather than cash stuffing this and then, like going through all of that pomp and circumstance, I decided to just go ahead and subtract what I sold from what I owe. So it all comes out in the wash. It all works out. Next up, also on the 10th, we have an H&M purchase. And I think I mentioned this in my last cash stuffing, that I went and took advantage of some sale items for my husband and son as well. So this one is coming from clothes, and it was $99.51, and it needs to be paid back to the bank. So I got some shirts and shorts for my son. I got him some swim trunks too. I got my husband some swim trunks and just like some athletic shorts, I think. So this sale that they do, usually at the end of every season, really is, I'm checking if I'm in frame. Yes, I am. It's really a good one to take advantage of, because their prices, come down to what I deem to be a much more reasonable level. So anyways, next up, finally, from Home Depot, we ordered our ceiling fans. Bless it. So it's coming from House Project. Now we just have to, install them, and then we'll be good to go. So it was $347.81, and then it needs to be paid back to the bank. Definitely, for sure. And then a very, very last up on the 12th was the post office. My husband is sending his broken sunglasses off to be repaired, and so he had to pay the shipping. And so this is going to come from his envelope, and it was $6.40, and it needs to be paid back to the bank. So there we go. So now what I'm going to do is zoom you guys back out, and we are going to unstuff this cash from the binders. All right, so first up, what we always do is add up all of the totals, or all of the expenses here, to make sure that we have enough cash at the end. We have what we think we're supposed to have. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys through this addition process, and then we'll come back with our total. Okay, so at the end of this, we should have $647. This is much more than we usually spend in a week, but again, we bought our ceiling fans, 3 of them, from Home Depot this week, because we had finally saved enough in our house project budget to achieve that. So let's go ahead and get stuck into pulling this cash. So first up, we will just go into low priority sinking funds, because we've got 2 dine out expenses here. And so for those of you who may not know, so the first one is $10 even, no biggie. The second one is $19.90. We always round that up to the next dollar. So it's gonna be $20 that we're gonna be pulling. That change adds up, yes, that change adds up and serves as a little mini buffer in our account that every now and then we will dip into if we have like a random expense for $2 or we're over on a category $2 or $3, something like that. But that change adds up. So, you know, if you do track your budget to the cent like we do, my husband is the one who does that. It is not me. I am not a devil is in the details kind of person. That's him. From a budgeting standpoint. For other things I am, but not for the budget. But he tracks all of that change. He knows every little penny that comes in and goes out of our account. Bless him. So we are going to be pulling a total of $30 from Dine Out. Let's see. Oh gosh. This is how you know my husband's been in here. Because you've got upside down bills. It's just chaos. I am going to... I think I'm going to do a 20 and do I have 5 ones? No, of course not. That would be too easy. I'm going to do a 20 and 2 5s just because, you know, with situations like this, we usually need change. So I'm assuming that we will this time as well. I don't know why we have a bunch of ones left over. You know, I usually do love to steal the ones, but I'm not going to this time. We will figure out why we have ones and work with that later. But I'm going to go ahead and put a little check mark next to both of these so that I know that I have them accountable and pay them back. Since I'm in low priority sinking funds, I am going to go ahead and dip into both hers and his because they're both in here. When you've got an envelope open, you may as well. So I have 2 from hers. So I'm paying back 72 and then 36. 72 plus 36. I can't do that math. So 108 is going to come out of my sinking funds here. Oh, I have the 8. So 100, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. Love that for me. All right. I'm sorry if you can hear screaming in the background. My kids and like neighbor kids are in my garage right now, and I am not far away from where my garage is. So that's where all the chatter is coming from if you can hear them screaming. But they're not in here interrupting me. So we take our wins whenever we can. Okay, so I paid back this one and this one. And now let's dip into my husband and grab $7 from him. And I know so... Oh my gosh, the screaming is out of control. So 5, 6, 7. All right. Whoopsies. There we go. All right. I don't think there's anything else in here from low priority sinking funds. No, there is not. We will have to go, oh wait, I think house project. I don't know why I'm humming Star Wars. Oh, here we go. Okay, yes, I was right. Remember when I said all the screaming meant no interruptions? Well, I got an interruption. Anyway, so we are pulling 348 because it was 347.81. So 348 from house project. We're probably going to need to make change here. So let me actually use up as many of these 50s as I can. So 51, 52, 20, 40, 60, 83. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need at least a 100. So 152, 53, 40. Oh, 50, right? Let me just double check this because, you know, my brain's not really working right now. You know, we're blaming the stomach bug. So 152, 53, 20, 40, 50. So then I will need to bring back $2 into this envelope. So there we go. We made it work. Look at me mathing and everything in the aftermath of a stomach bug. So I am going to count this one just because I'm curious. So 1, 20, 40, 60, right? 1, 20, 40, 60, 75, 76, 77. So 177 moving forward. And we are now saving for gutters for our house. And we do have a rough understanding that it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,100 to put gutters on our house. So that's what we're saving for next. So it's gonna be $1,100. So it's gonna take us a little bit longer than the ceiling fans. Okay, so I did those. Am I missing anything? Oh, wait, I did the clothes. Oh, I didn't do clothes, did I? I sure didn't. Okay. See, I was so thrown off guard by, or caught off guard by that distraction. Yeah, so we'll grab this one from clothes and then we'll just be able to go into my business binder and we'll be done. Oh, look, clothes. That's convenient. So this one is just rounding right up to $100. So there we go. Actually, do I have? No, I don't. All right. So let's go ahead and put a check mark next to that. And what do we have? Yeah, just business expenses left. So let's open her up and let's see. So materials is up first. So I will grab from materials. That was $41.79. So $42 of course. So, oh my gosh, I can't even do this math. 100 minus 42. So I need to make $58 of change for myself. So 55, 56, 57, 58. Oh, that's all my ones. Okay. So we're still good to go on materials. So now I have 50, 75, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 86. I am going to need some, oh goodness, some 5mm matte laminating sheets next, because you all love your matte envelopes when you order from my shop. So, oh, got a little schmutz on there. So I'm definitely going to need to replenish those soon, but this is enough for that and then some. And then back into the YouTube envelope. What did I need to pull? Where did I go? Oh, $12. Oh, look at that. 10, 12. Perf. And this is to pay myself back for the giveaways that I held. Goodness gracious. I cannot find my English today. Oh, I don't know why I put that off to the side. Okay. So let me just put a check mark next to those because I think that's it. All right. So let's go ahead and give this cash account and make sure that we have what we said we're supposed to have. I think I said, what, 647? I, of course, didn't write that down, but I'm pretty sure that's what I said. So 1, 2, 3, 54, 55, 50, 570, 90, 610, 620, 30, 5, 45, 46, 47, 647. We did it. We did it. Look at that. I'm always super happy when the maths at the end because, first of all, we know math is not my strong suit. And second of all, you never know what little hiccups can happen. I don't know why I'm trying to fan this out, but here we find ourselves. You never know what kind of little hiccups can happen along the way, especially when I'm the one trying to do the mathing. So that is it for this week's weekly check-in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love it so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday for cash stuffing. Bye, everyone.